Hello everybody once again, and welcome to forexlivetoday.com weekly wrap for the week ending the 8th of April 2011. Today is the 11th, just at the open of the UK markets. So let's start once again with the euro. Last week we were talking about the euro closing at a key resistance point here, as we can see from back in November. So throughout the course of the week, it flirted with this point and then broke out strongly on, say, Wednesday, back tested on Thursday, and then continued north on Friday. So as we mentioned last week, that was the higher probability. It was looking on course to higher highs, and that is what has happened. So the uptrend clearly in place still in the euro, perhaps some consolidation now, but further upside is not out of the realms of possibility there. So I think any longs would be feeling quite safe at the moment. So euro, new highs, breakout of a multi-month high, so looking good for the longs. If we switch to dollar Swiss, as we mentioned last week, analysts were calling the bottom here and talking about some bullish consolidation, but I was mentioning that this attempt at a higher high here that failed was key, and as we can see throughout the course of the week, it proved to be key, and it has moved strongly to the downside. I am looking for new lows actually on this, so I have a target of 88.97 or so on dollar Swiss. I'm not going to start looking for any bullish medium-term play until we see a close above here, above the 93.65, or perhaps a little lower, but you would like to see some sort of close above this point to indicate a trend reversal. We can see that we're on our way to a lower low. Perhaps we won't make the lower low. That would give us some sign of the trend weakening, but if we do make a new low, then happy days. Moving on to cable. Now, last week I was unsure on cable. I didn't have much to say, but this week the picture has become a little clearer. So if we look firstly at our uptrend starting here, moving up to here, we then had a sharp move down, which I have now labelled capital A. I'm looking for an ABC correction and then continuation of an uptrend. Now if that is to play out, we've had our A provisional, and if we switch to an hourly, I can show you what I'm looking at the moment. So moving up from the A, we've had an AB, 1, 2, 3, 4, and possibly a 5. So perhaps we've got our capital B already in, and if so, and if we see an indication of another reversal here, we will be looking for the C wave, which will take us down below the capital A. So let's move in closely. So we'll have a target on the C wave of somewhere below 159.35, and then a move back up to new highs. So there's lots of ifs and buts there, but these are all possible scenarios that we can perhaps look to use to our advantage. So that's what I'm seeing there. Dollar yen. Dollar yen moved strongly up, and then last week broke out of this multi-month move back, multi-month range. You can see the breakout point above here. So it's broken out last week and is now back testing. So the longs will still be feeling confident. We'll be looking for a back test here and then further moves up above 85, 84 initially. So that's key. We want to get up above that, or further downside will nullify that breakout there. So at the moment I'm still favouring the upside here, but as I said, a break back down into this range and we could then continue on in the range for the foreseeable future. Okay, so that's the major currencies again, and I just want to highlight once again, like we did last week, the Aussie dollar. Again, I've been noticing analysts are quick to call a top on the Aussie dollar, but as we can see, there's been weakness all around for the US dollar. There's no love for the US dollar at the moment, and the Aussie dollar is still making these record highs week after week and pushing on strongly. It's been a really strong move over the last couple of weeks, so I'm not prepared to take any long positions, but equally I'm not prepared to take any short positions, because once again, if we zoom in and look closely at the trend, it's still very strong. You'd want to see some sort of indication that it's coming to an end, and I don't see that yet. So again, no position on the Aussie dollar. So that is our weekly wrap for this week. I'll see you next Saturday, and we can take a look how things have panned out and look to the future. ForexLiveToday.com. Happy trading. See you next week.